All right, guys, I have a question for you, and take a second to think about this. Here's the question. What is life? I've taken some time to break this down and truly think about it. And whenever you reduce it down to its most fundamental state, life is composed of these three things. Taking on the philosophy portion here in my guide, I say that life is energy, regeneration, and consciousness. So whenever you have these three fundamental things, that's usually a living being or an entity. Having a family is very beautiful and we can make them our life. Great. Having and loving a career is awesome and we can make that our life. But even if we didn't have those things, we would technically still be alive. So what is it that keeps us alive? And that's what we focus on here in the guide. That's what we focus on in the Discord community. And that's what I focus on primarily, because I know that if you make the main thing, then everything else will align to it. So whenever you focus on what life actually is, then you'll get all the components of life. That's a very powerful statement. A lot of people are trying to seek out the aspects of life or the nuances, the outside secondary things, trying to obtain life. Health, fitness, working out, supplements, and things like that. And then sometimes those people are caught in a conundrum where they end up shortening their life or tragedy happens. But whenever you make the main thing, everything else aligns with it. And this is also how it's possible of how I've gone nearly 5 years without working out, but yet my body looks the way it does. I don't work out, I don't take supplements, I don't do all these other things that, is usually associated with health and fitness and everything else, but yet my body looks as if I work out every single day, count macros, I count calories and things like that, but I don't do any of that stuff. What I primarily focus on is the main thing. When you make the main thing, everything else will align itself. Well, what's the main thing? Energy. What type of energy are you consuming? And how are you directing the energy that you have? Regeneration. Do you have the building blocks that you need to regenerate? Are you putting yourself in a state to regenerate? Or are you always on go mode? If so, you'll be in a stressed out state. You won't have the peace or the comfort to regenerate and you'll end up degenerating. And then consciousness. Are you even focused on how you think? Are you aware that you're aware? And how are you utilizing that awareness? What are you doing with it? How are you responding to it? When you focus on these three things, you have the perfect recipe for true life. And when you have true life, everything else comes. Health, wealth, opportunity, community, family, love, relationships, all that stuff is under the umbrella of life. So if you could just focus on life, seemingly everything else will come. And some people might say, Mikey, that sounds too easy. But I'd say, well, just try it then. It's worked for me and it's worked for hundreds of other people who I've helped. When you just make the main thing and stop being distracted, stop trying to get healthy, stop trying to do this or do that, and just focus on what is life. All these other things will come. The health, the wealth, losing 10 pounds by the summer, staying committed to your goal, feeling better, looking younger, being stronger, being more attractive, attracting a mate, finding the right spouse. All these things come. If you want more information on this, I have my guide. It looks like a book, but it's actually not. Think of it as an instruction manual that gives you the step-by-step process of how to build the perfect concept called life. And whenever you apply these things, you'll notice by default change occurring, change taking place. There's not much you have to actually do outside of this. You want more success, you want more love, you want more this. Those things are byproducts of living a full life. When your life is full, those things just automatically come. And guess what? When you do it this way, it's a lot easier because now you're not working on finite energy trying to go and get something that doesn't reciprocate that. Now you're focused on eternal energy and what you're actually made of and living from that source. And then by default, you attract all these things to you that you never even had to go and get. You never had to spend energy trying to obtain. They just came automatically, which saves you a bunch of energy in the process, which means you won't age as fast. You'll have more energy and vitality to enjoy the things that you just attracted. And overall, you'll feel more satisfied with yourself because you're actually living in power. So if you want to live in power, I'd recommend join our Discord community, get the guide, even get some of our life powder here, our living powder. I hope that this encourages you to seek what life truly is. Because once you do, all the good things of life will come automatically.